Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. I thought I'd go ahead and do a video about Alfie with an update. For those of you who are tuning in and you might not know who I am, my name is Brandy Vaughn. I run learntherisk.org, which is a nonprofit I founded after stepping out of the pharmaceutical industry and realizing from the inside how corrupt that and the medical system is. So unfortunately, all day today, I have been reporting on a story that's coming out of England about a little boy named Alfie, who is almost 2 years old and has been sick since around 5 or 6 months, and with uncontrolled seizures, and the hospital saying that they don't know exactly the disorder, but it's a neurological disorder, claiming that it's untreatable. And they sued the parents in court for the right to end Alfie's life and take him off the respirator. But not only that, in the court order, it actually does say that the hospital can also give a lethal injection of fentanyl and other chemicals. It's similar to the injection that they give in criminal executions in the U.S. So I've been following this. Well, I have to say, it's come on the radar for a couple of weeks now, but I've been traveling and doing other things. So I've really been delving into it all day today, and we published an article on it on Learn the Risk, and everyone should go on there. There's a lot of information that's even in more detailed than my Facebook posts. But right now, I want to give you the latest update, and the hospital did take Alfie off the ventilator at a little bit after 9 p.m., so he's been breathing on his own since 9:17, but it hasn't been going perfectly. As you can imagine, Alfie's been on drugs and heavily sedated for weeks, months. I posted a video on my timeline from his father from today, where you can see at the 7-minute mark, he does the live video on Alfie, and you can see Alfie following him with his eyes. You can see him blinking. You can see emotion in his face and his eyes, and he's sucking on a pacifier. This is not a baby that has no life in him, that deserves to be murdered for whatever agenda the hospital has going on. And in a few minutes in this post or in this video, I'm going to go through some of the reasons hospitals seem to be very anxious to kill patients these days, right? I mean, you could look at it from the angle of money. They want the bed space, all of these kinds of things. But there are some other darker issues at play these days, because hospitals are now a business. And in fact, most people maybe don't know that hospital administration systems are now run by investment firms. So it's all about the money. It's not about the patients. And we're seeing this firsthand with the story with Alfie, and we saw it with Charlie Gard, and we've seen it with other children around the world. But particularly the UK hospital system has a bad track record here. So what are they hiding, as Anita says? And that's exactly it. So I'm going to get into that, and we have details on that in the article that I wrote for Learn the Risk today. But for those of you joining us, I'm going to give an update on Alfie's status. So right now he is he's off the ventilator. The hospital pulled the ventilator just after 9 p.m. And there's no update on whether or not they're going to give him the lethal injection that is actually in the court order that the hospital pursued. The hospital asked for permission to give a lethal injection of fentanyl to Alfie on the basis of, well, if we take off the ventilator, he probably won't breathe on his own, but if he does, we should give him a lethal shot of fentanyl to end his life. So this is exactly why I titled the article on Learn the Risk that I did today as, toddler set to be executed, because this is the same injection that they use in chemical executions. So I think this is a really, really important story because it's showing firsthand the corruption that's going on in the hospital system. So I'm going to, that's the update. He's off the ventilator. He's still breathing on his own currently. It's been 2.5 hours. His uncle just posted a Facebook post in the group that said the hospital swore to the judge to get the court order that Alfie would not breathe 2 to 3 minutes on his own. He would stop breathing immediately after the ventilator was pulled. It's been 2.5 hours. Hospitals and doctors are full of shit. Okay, that was the number one thing I learned when I was in pharma. Pharma's full of shit, and doctors are not far behind. I'm sorry, I have some really amazing doctors, but most of them have stepped out of the system now. They have no idea what they're talking about. They have no idea the power of the healing of the body to heal itself. When they take the toxins out and when they allow him to detox, when they put him on healing herbs like cannabis and cannabis oil, which has done wonders for seizures for other children with seizures. And again, so Alfie's condition is a unknown seizure disorder, right? So how many times do we hear about that in the vaccine movement? Vaccines cause seizures. So Sandy's asking if I talk a little bit about the hospital and why they have a legal right to treat him like a death row inmate, which is exactly what they are doing. I'll get to that in a minute. But one of the things I learned in pharma was, doctors and hospitals, they're a business A, so they put profits before patients. And I'm going to go into why they probably want, some of the reasons they may want him dead and why they are resisting the transfer to the Italian hospital. Because if they really just wanted him out of the hospital, right, then they would allow for the parents to take him out. They wouldn't have 20 police officers blocking the door and watching every move they make. Forbidding the father to actually touch his son. If they really just wanted, to free up the bed to get him out of the hospital, whatever, okay, great. Send him to Italy. Everything's arranged. There's a hospital in Italy which has offered lifetime care for him. And my guess is that in Italy there has been more movement on the vaccines. And my guess is this hospital in Rome, where the mayor of Rome supports not having mandatory vaccines, and she understands the risks of vaccines. I'm guessing this hospital in Rome wants to treat him and recover him with different methods, right, that we hear about in our movement, right? Cannabis oil, herbs, detox, chelation, these types of things, right, that have helped thousands of people with seizures. So again, he has a seizure condition. It happened around 4 to 5, 6 months, right? Suddenly, I would almost guarantee he got a vaccine. I would almost guarantee that was what triggered these seizures. We have a great page on learntherisk.org. It's learntherisk.org/seizures. It has all the science there. Seizures are a proven side effect of vaccines. Okay, healthy babies just don't go into the doctors one day and then end up seizing 2 weeks later after shots. So anyway, I'm pretty sure that this is a vaccine reaction case, and so. Why does the hospital have the right? Because the hospital sued the parents, and they got a court order to take over custody of Alfie. So now they are the legal guardians of Alfie, and that's why they feel they have the right to end his life, regardless of what the protesters are saying, regardless of what his parents are saying. Regardless of what we're hearing from insiders in the hospital are coming out and saying, hey, here's some, there's oxygen behind his bed. I'm a hospital doctor. Put him on the oxygen. I'm a hospital nurse. What is going on here is absolutely insane. So these stories are being leaked out, but of course employees don't want to lose their jobs, so they don't speak out. But I am really hoping, one of the things I want to do on this video is I want us to pray together. And I don't even care if you believe in God or what, a higher power, divine. We have to send good energy to him and positive energy to keep him breathing. And the second, I want this video to be seen by the nurses and the doctors and even other patients that are in that hospital right now, and every lawmaker in England and every person in England. There is blood on your hands. I mean, seriously, there is blood on your hands. How are you going to sleep at night? You don't want to come out against the hospital that you work for that is killing people and murdering people? Okay, you don't want to lose your job? Well, guess what? You're going to lose sleep for the rest of your life because blood is on your hands. And if you don't stand up, it's going to be your child next because karma comes back to you. And I hope that I don't have to use that excuse for them to actually come out. But this is insane and this needs to stop. And it starts with one person. It starts with one person standing up and saying enough is enough. And there are thousands of people that are probably employed at that hospital. And this is going to follow them for the rest of their lives. They have blood on their hands, every single one of them. I don't care if you're the janitor. People need to be speaking out against this and they need to be going to the media and they need to be blowing this shit up. And you know what? I know there was a royal baby born today. I'm sorry, Kate. You have other shit to deal with on your hands right now. You should be in this fight because children do not deserve to be killed and people should not be ignoring this. I know you just got out of the hospital. Now it's time for you to go to a different one and stand up for the rights of UK children because they are being murdered by the hospital system and pharmaceutical companies and medical research companies and organ donation companies that don't want to see kids alive. They make more money off of them testing them and having them dead, okay? So there's blood on the hands of every British citizen, every British employee of the NHS system, especially at that hospital. And basically everyone, because we know, I mean, like Kate, I'm sorry, Kate, I love you. Well, at least until, you know, what I see is going on in your freaking country, you know? I mean, I know you just got out of the hospital, but I know you've heard about this story. Where are you? Where are you? You're busy having your own baby, and then other babies in the UK are being murdered. What the fuck? How can people sleep at night? So, I'm going to go back to one of the points that I made in the article that I wrote about, and why would they want a court order to give a fentanyl shot after taking him off the respirator? Why would they want a court order for that? Clearly, they do not want him out of their custody. So either A, they're covering up for a medical mistake that they've done that another hospital might find, so they refuse to transfer him to hospitals, or B, they tested on him. They did medical testing on him. There are reports and Facebook videos and photos from his parents who documented bruises and injection sites and leftover blood on his body when they would come to visit him. They documented this. What is the hospital hiding? What are they hiding? They either made a medical mistake or I would venture to say they were testing on him because it's an undiagnosed brain infection, right? It's not an infection, but I'm going to get to that in a minute because there's some interesting finds that's a great warrior in our movement found regarding the hospital and brain infection research. So basically it's a neurological issue, right? So why don't they want him? Why won't they let him leave the hospital? Why do they have to have medical custody? Because they want his body. They want his body. They've either enrolled him in a medical test and they have to have the autopsy to complete the medical research and get millions, or they are covering up a medical mistake. They're probably, of course, denying the idea that probably the fact that it comes from vaccines, right? Because seizures are a known side effect of vaccines. But my guess is there's some kind of medical research going on. They need the body for the autopsy, and I'm sure that they already have organ donation companies, right? It's a business lined up at the door. So if they have medical and legal custody of him, they can do whatever they want with his body. They can donate the organs. They can do their own autopsy. They can send his body for research. They can do whatever they want. So why do they want to give a fentanyl shot? They claim it's in the best interest of him. Did you see the video I posted? I'm going to show it to you in a minute. At minute mark 7, there is nothing wrong with this child. He needs to be healed. He has seizures. He is alive. There's life in his eyes. He's sucking on a pacifier. He recognizes his dad's voice. He follows him with his eyes. There is nothing wrong with him. And my uncle was in a coma for 6 months in the hospital after a motorcycle accident, decades ago. He recovered fully, okay? And I have hundreds of stories that people have told me of people that have been in comas where their body is in a state of rest and they come out of them and they live perfectly healthy lives, okay? What they're doing is murder. It's medical murder. So why does the hospital want to give him a fentanyl shot to end his life, even though he's breathing on his own without the ventilator right now? And we need to send prayers there, quick. And if you have any kind of church sessions, any meditation groups, anything going on, we need to send prayers to him right now. Everyone in the world. I don't care if you believe in God or not. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to be painful. Everybody should be praying for him and sending good energy there. So why would a hospital want to kill him? Why would they want to kill him? Why would they refuse the Italian hospital, which is willing to pay his way and for his care for his entire life? Okay? Again, for those of you just on here, I'm going to go over the reasons. Medical research is $1 billion business. And my guess is they wanted custody so that they could do medical testing on him. The parents took pictures of bruises and injection marks and things that shouldn't be on their baby when they come to visit. They documented this. They did Facebook videos. So it's either they are covering up for some kind of medical mistake. They don't want an Italian hospital to heal this baby, right? Because that would probably link back to vaccines, because this baby's seizures could probably be healed through heavy metal detox, right? And I think that's what this hospital in Italy wants to do. And so, of course, the hospital in the UK would never want to accept that kind of responsibility. A, they wouldn't want to admit vaccines probably caused this damage. And B, they wouldn't want to have to eat face, right? Like have to say, oh my gosh, we wanted to kill this baby and now this baby's living a healthy life. They don't want that, right? They want this to be a clean slate. They want to wipe it off their hands. They want to get rid of him. And their parents aren't letting them. The protesters aren't letting them. Thank God. And God is not letting them. And he is breathing on his own right now. That's the update. But he needs your prayers. He needs your support, your good energy, everything sent to him right now. And they can't take the baby and run. Amy Michelle, I wish they could. There are 20 police officers blocking that door. And the father's not even allowed to touch him because they're afraid of medical kidnap. Why are they afraid of medical kidnap? Why will they not let this baby leave? Because they probably did medical research and they need the body to do an autopsy to complete the contract deal that they did with the company. Or they're covering up a medical mistake. Or they don't want the Rome hospital to treat him and recover him. Because then all of these issues that have been going around in the UK, like the death of Charlie Gard and the death of other babies and how the hospitals are doing it, they don't want another hospital to come in and prove that these babies shouldn't have been killed, like Charlie, the one that's already dead, and that hospitals are not perfect. They cannot play God, right? So it's one of these reasons, because there is no other reason that the hospital would not let them go unless they had a lot at stake. Okay, so I gave you those reasons. Those are the reasons. This has nothing to do about his best interest. This has nothing to do about him. If you watch the video that I've posted in my post on my timeline, I've been posting about this all day. His father took a video there. Oh my God! Someone just commented that they say that he's having a hard time. Please send your prayers. Okay, right now, before I go in on any of this, if you're just joining, please watch the beginning and what I've said so far, because I go into why the hospital's doing this and what's really going on behind hospital doors. And I want to right now take a pause before I go into the other few details. I want to take a pause, and I want all of us to send Alfie our best, our highest, most powerful energy, okay? He can breathe. He can do this on his own, okay? His body can heal. He can do this. He's strong enough. He's been under all of these toxins and medications and sedated and almost he's probably brain dead from half the medications he's on, but he can recover, and we've seen it. We've seen miracles. Like I said, my uncle was in a coma for 6 months, no brain activity, and he came out of it, and he's living a normal life. This can happen, and it is not the hospital's decision to pull the plug on him at all. This baby deserves a chance, and there's life in his eyes and in his face and his everything, okay? So right now, he's fighting to breathe on his own. Please, 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 please send your prayers there. Send your thoughts there. Call everybody you know, your prayer circles, your groups, your meditation groups. Post it in your Facebook groups. We need people praying for him right now. He needs our strength. He needs our energy. He is fighting to survive, right? And we have no idea what that hospital is going to do next, because they do have legal authority to give a fentanyl shot to end his life. So we need those prayers now, and we need them going to him now. Please, even if you don't believe in God, it's not going to hurt you, and it might help him. So please, get over yourself, get over your ego, get over your selfishness, whatever. Pray for him, please. This is important. This is more than about us. This is about him. So for those of you just joining us, quick update. He is off the ventilator. The hospital removed the ventilator. They have legal authority to give a fentanyl shot by court order, because they have medical and legal custody of poor Alfie. And a judge told them to go through with cutting off the ventilator at 9 p.m. London time. He's been fighting and breathing on his own for 2.5 hours, but they're not allowing oxygen, and they're not allowing the parents to take him. They're not allowing anyone in the room. The parents can't even touch him. The father can't touch him. And they got oxygen to the hospital, to the dad, but the hospital has refused to let them use it. And they have 20 police officers in that room watching every step they make. So baby Alfie needs our prayers right now. He's off the ventilator. The hospital, they're trying to murder him. There's just no other way to put it, okay? If you see the video I posted earlier, at the 7-minute mark, his father has the video on them. He's blinking. He's sucking a pacifier. He's following his father with his eyes. He's recognizing he's awake. He is alive. He is alive. And we've seen this before in the vaccine movement. I would guarantee, I'd bet $1,000 right now that this is a vaccine injury, because he was fully vaccinated. This started happening at 5 or 6 months. We have seen this. Michelle Carroll is dealing with this right now with Jaden. He had uncontrollable seizures, and this is exactly the same thing that Alfie is going through, right? And they can be healed through cannabis oil and through heavy metal detox and other things. You cannot kill babies like this. They're covering up their mistakes. They're trying to hide the fact that vaccines did this. They're trying to not allow an Italy hospital, which has said, okay, we'll pay for the care for the rest of his life. I bet, it's my intuition, and I have good intuition, guys, good instincts. You should trust me on this one. I would guarantee that Italian hospital is going to try heavy metal detox on him and try to get this out of his body and recover him. And they will not let it happen, because it will expose their own mistakes, their own stupidity, and their own agenda to murder him, probably for medical research and organ donation. Okay? It's a dark world, guys. It's a dark world, and like I said earlier, hospitals are run by investment companies. It's all about the money. It is not about the patients. It's all about the money, and that's the number one thing I learned when I was working in the pharmaceutical industry and when I was calling on these hospitals and calling on these doctors, right? This is what I learned. This is reality, and it's very dark right now. So please, again, start sending all of our prayers from around the world. Please send them to him right now. Send them to Alfie. Visualize him breathing on his own. Visualize him smiling. Visualize him with his parents, living a full life one day in the future. Please do all of these things right now. He needs our prayers, okay? And that hospital is going to do anything they can right now to make sure he doesn't leave, okay? He needs our strength. He needs our prayers. And as soon as we give these prayers, we have got to start blowing up the UK media lines, the hospital lines. I actually have the hospital's phone number or email. Theresa May, her email, all of these governmental officials that are ignoring this. By the way, I called out Kate Middleton earlier. I know you just had a baby, but where are you? Because UK children are being killed under your watch. And as a mother, she should not ever be allowing this. All right. Update. Yes, he's not getting oxygen. They took him off the ventilator, and he's breathing on his own. He needs our prayers. He needs our strength. Please send it to him. I don't care if you believe in God. I don't care any of that. This is not about us. This is not about your beliefs. This is about him. And he needs our help, and he needs our prayers and our strength. So please send him all of our healing energy. Envision him breathing and dancing and laughing and on the playground with his parents one day, because this can happen. There are stories all over where medicine makes mistakes. In fact, was just writing an article today, and some of you know because I've published this. The medical system in the U.S. is the third leading cause of death. Third leading cause of death. Experts say, okay? And this is how they do it. They cover up their mistakes. They make medical mistakes. It's medical murder. And this is what they are doing to Alfie. He deserves to live. He deserves a chance to heal. Please, we need to be kind, but we need to be... Thank you, Sandy. Thank you for posting to Kate Middleton's Facebook page. Please share my video to her, because I cannot imagine how any mother in the UK can sleep tonight while this is happening, especially anyone with any kind of power. Because we have seen this. We have seen little Alfies in the U.S., in our movement. Jaden, Michelle Carroll's son. And he's recovered. He's done better with natural healing treatments, out of the hospital, off the medical stuff, off the drugs. But the hospital will not allow that, because it will prove them wrong. It will prove them wrong, and it will lose them money. And so this is about the hospital and their bottom line and their egos. Every single one of those doctors' egos. This is not about Alfie, and we cannot let this happen as mothers. We cannot let this happen. It's going to be more and more children next, okay? So, again, update. He's breathing on his own. They removed the ventilator. He needs our prayers. He needs our strength. He needs our energy. We need to envision. We need to meditate. We need to envision him playing on the playground with his parents, with kids. He can live a normal life. We've hundreds of thousands of stories of this, right? People are in comas. It does not mean their brain is dead. It means their body is resting and it's trying to heal. It means that brain is on pause, trying to heal itself. The body is amazing, especially when there's strength and the support of prayer around and angels. So please send your prayers to him, because this is murder. It's medical murder. And we've been seeing it in the vaccine movement with vaccines for years, for decades. And we're seeing it with hospitals now more and more and more. I remember I shared 2 or 3 years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago now, a story out of Oakland Children's Hospital in California about a girl who went in, she had tonsils taken out. She had a reaction at the hospital, and she was fine in the hospital, and then one day she wasn't. And there was a medical error, and the hospital fought to end her life, so that they can just sweep it under the rug. And her parents took them to court and fought, and they lost, and then they appealed. And finally, they got her transferred. They got her transferred out of that hospital. It was Oakland Children's Hospital in California. And she was 13. She was 14. And she was healing. I haven't followed up with the story lately, but these things can happen. The body is miraculous, and medical murder should never, ever be allowed. It should never be on anybody's watch. And every single lawmaker right now, it's 12:42 a.m. in London right now, 1:42 a.m. for me. I cannot sleep, okay? And I'm not even in the UK, so I'm doing whatever I can. I'm asking you to pray. I'm asking you to share this video. Why are all those lawmakers ignoring this and sleeping? Every mother that has influence in the UK, Kate Middleton, I'm talking to you. I know you just had a baby, girlfriend, but there are babies dying. I mean, come on. How can people sleep? How can people sleep? Knowing that this is going on, knowing that he is fighting for every single breath, and that the medical system in the UK is trying to murder him. They have blood on their hands. So, again, new people joined us. They refused him oxygen. He was granted Italian passport. There's a hospital in Italy, in Rome, that wants to take him, that will pay for his care, pay for his transfer. The Pope tweeted for the UK to give him a chance at life and to heal. And we've seen this. We've seen this throughout the vaccine movement. And I'm pretty sure this is a vaccine injury. And we've seen this. Vaccines cause seizures. And seizures can be controlled naturally as well. You can wean them off the medication and you can control the seizures. Babies can get better. but you got to take him off the drugs, and he has to get out of this hospital, and this hospital is doing every single thing they can to keep him. So that begs the question, why won't the hospital let him leave to go to the hospital in Rome? If it's all about just, oh, this baby, it's in the best interest, oh, you know, whatever, just wipe your hands of it. Let him leave. Let his parents take him. Get the police officers away from that door. Let his parents take him out. What have you got to lose? Obviously, there is some ulterior motive. This is not about the child anymore. This is about their profits. This is about their egos. This is about them not wanting to be proven wrong. And then, if you want to go a bit deeper, it's probably because they already have him lined up to donate organs, which is a multi-million-dollar business, or they have it for medical research. And they're possibly doing medical research on him and have been doing this in the hospital. The parents have documented photos of strange injection marks, bruises on his body, blood streaks. They've taken video of it, and they've taken photos of it. So that has been since he has been in the custody of the hospital. And the hospital sued, for those of you just catching up, this is Alfie Evans. We're following this story. He's basically being executed in the UK right now. They took him off the ventilator. The hospital fought the court to receive an order and permission to give him a fentanyl shot injection to kill him. So what are they doing? What are they doing? What kind of medical research are they doing on him that they won't let him leave? They want his body for autopsy. This is why they want the fentanyl shot, because they have to kill him and have his body for the autopsy, or they won't fulfill their contract. Okay? I cannot guarantee that this is happening. And if they sue me, oh man, shit's gonna hit the fan in discovery process. I tell you that. But these are some of the reasons why these things happen. Okay? So medical research going on, possibly. They need to keep his body. That's why they're fighting. That's why they fought so hard for custody, and also for the right and permission to give a fentanyl shot to end his life after they took him off the ventilator. Is it still happening? Yes, the father flew to Rome, met with the Pope, got Italian citizenship. There's a hospital in Rome that is waiting for Alfie, and has agreed to pay for all his care for the rest of his life, has agreed to fly him over. All the hospital has to do is let Alfie leave. Why won't they let him leave? I will tell you, again, there's 4 reasons. Medical mistake, they made a medical error and they're covering up for it. B, they're doing medical research on him, and without an autopsy and a body, they cannot complete their contract. 3, they have organ donation businesses and companies lined up, and that's $1 billion business. Or 4, they don't want to admit that vaccines are the cause, and they don't want to let another hospital heal him, because then they would be proven wrong, and then all hospitals would lose the power that they hold over patients. So it's one of those 4 reasons. I can't think of any other reasons. And it's all about the bottom line of the hospital, which are all run by investment firms these days, right? It's a major, major business. This is why you see billboards up all over the place. So for those of you just joining us, I'm updating on Alfie Evans' story out of the UK. He's at a hospital in Liverpool who sued his parents for custody and the ability to kill him and to execute him. And why do I use the word execution? I'm sorry, I know it turns a lot of people off, but they asked for, in the court order, they asked the court to give them permission to give Alfie a fentanyl shot to ensure that he dies, okay? Why would they, Gidget says she's in with the family, been in this a year. Why would they want that in the court order? Why would they want to give him a fentanyl shot to end his life unless they're covering up for something? So again, watch this video from the beginning. I listed 4 good reasons that hospitals do this, and not good as in good for us, but good for the hospital, because this is all about profit, ego, and power. This is not about Alfie. This is not about our kids. And we have to take the medical system back because it's not working for us at all. So, again, Alfie is sitting in that hospital room right now, fighting to breathe. We have to pray for him right now. And yes, Kate Middleton, Gretchen's been on this since I started. Yes, I'm calling out Kate Middleton because I don't know how any mother with any kind of influence in England could sleep tonight. I know you just gave birth to a new baby, but there's another baby that needs you. And I don't know how anyone can sleep in the UK tonight. I can't sleep and it's 2 a.m. I'm on here trying to get as many people to be aware of this, to get as many people to email, to get as many people to put posts on their Facebook pages, on their Twitter pages, to swamp the hospital with negative, comments. Ask them, why won't they let him leave? Why won't you let him leave? Why won't you let Alfie leave? What are you covering up? Put that all over their Facebook page. Put that all over their Twitter account, because they are no longer working for the people. And when I was working in pharma, that's exactly what I realized and why I left the industry, because pharmaceutical companies are pushing the medical system to care more about profit. It didn't used to be this way, but it is now. And hospitals, doctors, obviously the pharmaceutical industry, it's about profit. It's no longer about people. And so we're going to come up against more and more of these cases. Charlie Gard, that case, oh my God, may he rest in peace, because it was a very similar case to this. And the hospital murdered him. So we're really hoping that that doesn't happen to Alfie tonight. So he has now been off the ventilator. The hospital took him off the ventilator, and they're waiting for him to die. They are hoping he will die. And I cannot even imagine how anyone in this world could ever, ever, ever wish that upon a child. And they will have their day of reckoning sooner rather than later. I guarantee it. And earlier in this video, I called on every employee at that hospital. I don't care about your job, okay? You will pay your bills another way. I will start a fucking GoFundMe. You need to step out against that hospital. You need to step out into the media, and you need to say, this needs to stop now. Or you need to smuggle that baby out of there. You need to take action. I don't know how anyone at that hospital could ever sleep again if they do not stand up against this tyranny and step up and stand up for Alfie. So again, every single person in the UK that's sleeping right now, it's 1 a.m. there. How can they sleep? How can they sleep tonight, knowing that blood is on their hands, knowing that they didn't do anything to save this child? I hope they watch that video, that 7-minute mark that I just put on the post on my Facebook timeline. His father made a video today. At the 7-minute mark, you see Alfie awake. He's awake. His eyes are moving, following his father. He's sucking on a pacifier. Okay? This is not a brain-dead child. There is life in there. What is this hospital covering up? Or how much money do they stand to gain by killing him? What's going on? Organ donation? Medical research? They made a mistake and they don't want another hospital to figure it out, so they won't let him transfer. They don't want him to heal. They don't want to be proven wrong. They don't want to lose their power, their money, their reputation. It's all ego. It's all about profit or ego. Again, send your prayers to him, because I'm getting updates on this feed. Please, 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 please send your prayers to him, because I'm getting updates and they're saying that Alfie is having a really hard time breathing right now and lack of oxygen. And there are people downstairs at the hospital offering oxygen, and the police will not let them in. Oh, yeah. And I have a word for the policemen. Blood on your hands. You are not protecting the public. You are protecting corporate interests. How you ever can sleep at night, how you can go home and look your children in the eyes when you know you facilitated a child's murder? How will you ever be able to look in your child's eyes when you go home knowing that you killed another child? Because every single person that is complicit in this is guilty. Every single person is guilty of murder. Silence is complicity. You are protecting the hospital. You're protecting the hospital's rights. You're protecting money. You're protecting their bank accounts. And you are murdering a child to do it. I cannot believe how many people are just standing by, letting this child die. hard to have hope in the world, okay? It's hard to have hope, but we have to. And right now, Alfie needs our prayers. So again, let's all send our prayers and energy to him. And again, I don't care if you believe in God or not. This is not about you. This is about Alfie. Everybody needs to be sending good energy to him, healing, prayers, envisioning him running on a playground with his family, growing up, getting married. Envision it with your mind. Meditate on it. Please, any prayer groups, any meditation groups, please, please, please. This is urgent. We need everybody praying for him. Everybody sending good energy to him. And you know what? Just to make sure you are extra inspired, I'm going to show the latest picture of him. This is him without the ventilator. This was posted by his family. He's in his mother's behind him. That's her arm. He's laying in his mother's lap right now, fighting to breathe. And that hospital is telling that mother that she has to sit there and hold her baby while he dies, even though she knows he is very much alive. Again, I don't know how these people can sleep at night, and I hope they never do. I hope they never do. I hope they dwell on this and that they turn a new leaf, and whatever happens tonight, I hope that every single employee at that hospital and police officer fights against the medical system and steps into this movement and helps support us, what we are trying to do. So this is Alfie. Please send him your prayers. Again, obviously, anyone who's just joining us, please share this on Twitter. He is off the ventilator. The hospital removed the ventilator. They haven't given the fentanyl shot, which they begged the court to allow. Thank God they haven't. And this is him right now, fighting to breathe, fighting to live, needing all of our strength, all of our prayers, and all of that. This is a picture of him in his mother's arms. He is in the hospital and could die because the hospital puts profit before patients, because they care more about their bottom line. They care more about organ donation and medical research and ego and being proven, not being proven wrong, because there is a hospital in Italy that will take him, and the hospital is refusing to let him leave. So I was just going to show you a couple of other things. There were hundreds of protesters. Of course, my computer's crashing right now. Every time I do a Facebook Live, it starts to. Anyway, there are hundreds of supporters today at the hospital that tried to reach Alfie, that tried to get into the hospital to be able to take him away so that he can get to Italy. And the police stopped them. The hospital called in riot police. Let's go here, and I'm just gonna check out the latest updates on this site, because they have live updates coming from the hospital on this site. Of course, my computer's not working really well. All right, let's see. It should update. The latest update here: Alfie is now getting some oxygen and appears to be breathing well. That was an older update. From what I'm hearing on the on this feed, as people are posting, this is he's having a harder time now. But please, oh my gosh, yeah, they are trying to shut me down. And Lou says she's getting thrown off and getting kicked off. Yeah, they're probably trying to shut this video down. We're reaching thousands of people right now. Anyway, the update. The hospital. Oh, yeah, they're shutting me down too. They're not letting me. My computer's dying, or not dying, but it's blocked. Anyway, so I'm going to go back to this photo. This is Alfie right now. He needs your prayers. He needs your love. He needs your energy right now. He's laying in his mother's arms, and the hospital is not allowing him oxygen. They poisoned him for the last year and 4 months. He has been in that hospital. They have been poisoning him and keeping him sedated, keeping him completely numb with massive, massive amounts of drugs. And now they aren't even going to give him oxygen when his body is trying to heal and fight and recover. I mean, I
oh my God, I can't even, and again, I don't know how people are sleeping right now. How are people in the UK sleeping right now? It's 1 in the morning. It's 2 in the morning where I'm at and I can't sleep. Knowing a child is dying and they're doing nothing about it. How can the police officers that are guarding the door, keeping his parents away from him, well, his father at least, is not allowed to touch him or come near the bed? How can they do that? How can they sit there and watch a child die and then go home tomorrow to their family and look in their children's eyes, knowing that they killed someone else's child last night? I mean, how can they let this happen? How can they let this happen? I am, and yep, if you watch this video from the beginning, I called out Kate because I know Kate just had a baby, but if you're a woman and a mother in the UK, you cannot turn your back on this. How can you sleep right now knowing this is going on? The world is watching and we are disgusted. We are disgusted that people are allowing this to happen. How can this happen? I mean, is anyone human left in the UK? I mean, I know we have lots of UK followers and you're amazing. Lots of you are amazing. But those people that are running your country, how can they let this happen? How can they let this happen? And your royal family, what good are they if they don't protect the citizens from corporate interests? What good are they? I mean, what good is the government if they're putting corporate interests and this hospital's profits before Alfie? All right. So, again, update for those of you just joining. This is Alfie. He has been taken off the ventilator by the hospital. His parents, or his mother, is holding him in her arms right now as he is breathing on his own, but they are not sure how long it's going to last. They're trying to get him oxygen. And so after months and months and months, years of being poisoned by this hospital and on so many drugs, the UK has probably been charged millions and millions and millions. Now the hospital refuses to give him oxygen, not even oxygen of their own. People from outside the hospital got oxygen and brought it up to the floor, and the hospital will not allow the parents to put him on oxygen to help his little body heal after months and months and months of being poisoned. The hospital wants him to die. Why? Why does the hospital want him to die so bad? Why will they not let the parents take him to the hospital in Rome? Why would that hospital not let the parents take Alfie to a hospital in Rome, which has agreed to pay for the transport and his care for his entire life and his healing and his probably detox? Why won't they let him leave? What is that hospital hiding? What is that hospital hiding? Again, I'm going to go through it. There are 4 good reasons, or not good reasons, good for hospital, not good for their profits, reasons why they might be doing this. One is organ donation, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And there are added benefits. There are French benefits for doctors who find organs to be donated. It is a sick system. Number 2, medical research. Medical research is also a billion-dollar business. And when they have a child that has neurological issues going on and undiagnosed, that is a cash cow for medical research. And I can't even believe I'm saying these words. This is how fucked up the system is now. But they might not let him leave if he was enrolled in medical research and a trial, because they have to have his body and they have to have the autopsy to complete the contract deal that they would make with the research company. I'm not saying this hospital did it, but it has been known to happen, especially when hospitals will not let the child leave when there are other options. Yes, please call the hospital. Please, people, post numbers, post emails. We need to get this out there. Reason number 3 why the hospital might not let him leave, because they made a mistake and they're trying to cover it up, and they're afraid that if he goes to another hospital, that hospital might figure out their mistake. If nothing else, that hospital might heal him, right? And then this hospital is proven wrong, and their entire ego and reputation as a hospital is in the dumps. There could be legal action. So no, reason number 4, because he was vaccinated, and nobody wants to admit vaccines cause seizures. He has been diagnosed with an undiagnosable seizure condition. They don't know what it is. He just has seizures multiple times a day. We have seen this with vaccine injuries. I have stories of children that have started seizuring right on the table at the doctor's office immediately, and they have symptoms exactly like Alfie has. So, are they covering up a vaccine injury that they then, and then submitted him into medical research? I don't know. These are all very good questions for the hospital, and I really hope you post them on their Facebook page and on the media page and on the media reports about this, because these questions need to be answered. I want to know, why is this hospital holding on to him so badly? Why did they ask the court and the judge to give them permission to inject him with a fentanyl shot, which is exactly what they give to criminals when they're executed in the U.S., fentanyl, shots of fentanyl and other chemicals. They asked the judge to give them permission to inject him with fentanyl to end his life, on the basis that when he is off the ventilator, he might still breathe on his own. So we need permission to give him a fentanyl shot to end his life. If he's breathing on his own, he's not brain dead. What the hell are these people? Like, how can they do this? How can they do this? I mean, my God, where is any kind of ounce of human decency left in this world? You know what? Actually, I have a theory. I think that the medical school system beats out any element of human decency in doctors. Most of them. There's about 5% that manage to come through with some ethics and some human decency and some compassion left. But 95%, it's beaten out of them. It is beaten out of them in the medical system. And then they go to work for hospitals, and it's beaten down their throats that they cannot have anything that does with, no liability. And right now, Alfie's a liability to this hospital. They want him out of there as soon as possible. But instead of letting an Italian hospital, which wants to care for him, have him, they won't. So why? Why won't they let him leave? Why won't they let him leave? And those of you that have been following this video, I have 4 different reasons why they won't let him leave. Medical research, and they need the body for autopsy. Organ donation, they're covering up a medical mistake, or they're covering up the fact that vaccines did this and he could heal through alternative means, being, cannabis oil or heavy metal detox, those types of things. And possibly that hospital in Rome is exactly, that's their plan. And this hospital does not want to be proven wrong. Anyway, no matter what it is, it's not for him. It's not because of Alfie. So please, please, please pray. Send him prayers right now, because he is fighting to survive. He is fighting to breathe on his own. Fighting to breathe on his own, because he has been poisoned with the hospital drugs for months and months and months. His body needs time to realize how to live back on its own and how to heal. He needs more time. He needs oxygen. He needs to be around his parents, which the police are not allowing near him. This is a tragedy. This is murder. This is medical murder. And how the people of the UK are letting this happen, how the police officers are barring people from the room, barring the oxygen from the room, how the nurses and the doctors are not standing up to the hospital administration and saying enough is enough. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the bad language. No, I'm not sorry, actually, because we need to get a little bit angry, because clearly not enough people are angry at how pharmaceutical companies and hospitals in the medical system are killing our children. They're killing our children. This is a very high-profile case, but things like this go on every day, hundreds and hundreds of times a day, if not thousands, across the world. And people are not angry enough. So I am going to use that word. And I want every single person, please, send your prayers to him. Send your energy. He needs us right now. He's fighting to breathe. And please, go onto that hospital website, crash it with all of your comments and your complaints. Alert the media. Go on the royal family's Facebook page. Where are they right now? Sleeping in their beds? while a child is being murdered in a hospital in their own country? I mean, what good is the royal family for if it's not to protect the people? And all the lawmakers that have sat by and watched and done nothing to stand up for this little boy. There is blood on your hands. All of them, the police officers, the hospital employees, the lawmakers, the judge. Oh my God, there's a special place somewhere down below for him. Let me tell you. Everyone who has sat back and watched as this has progressed to the point where the hospital is intentionally killing this child. And please watch the video that I shared on my post. I'm going to turn it back to me because my hands are having a hard time holding it. The media that hasn't reported fairly on this, all of the people that are coming out against his parents. I mean, this child is not brain dead. I posted a video showing him blinking, his eyes following his dad. He's sucking on a pacifier. This was from today. Today. It was from today. And why does he need oxygen? Why does he still need ventilation help? Because his body is still healing. His body is still healing from the trauma and the seizures. And he needs time to heal with a little help. So the hospital had no problems poisoning him with drugs for almost a year and a half now. But when they want to bring oxygen to him, not even the hospital's oxygen from the outside, the hospital refuses. So again, the biggest question here is, what does this hospital have to lose by sending him to Rome? What do they have to gain by killing him? What do they have to gain? Because right now, if he dies, the hospital takes his body, right? The parents don't, because they don't have custody. Do people understand? Do you see it yet? Do you see what's happening? This is medical murder. And again, I've gone over 4 reasons why they would do this. Medical research. They've been testing on him. They've been trialing him, and they need his body to complete their contract. Organ donation. That's a 2-for-1. I mean, there's a lot of money in those two combined. Organ donation. Maybe they made a mistake and they're covering it up, and they don't want another hospital to figure it out. They don't want another hospital to see what they've done. Vaccine injury. It's probably a vaccine injury. Seizures are a well-documented scientific fact that vaccines cause seizures. We have a page, learntherisk.org/seizures. The studies are there. They cause seizures. It's well documented. He had seizures right in that time frame where he was getting childhood vaccines. Maybe that hospital in Rome, because the mayor of Rome actually actually realizes that there are risks to vaccines. Maybe that hospital in Rome wants to try to detox him. Maybe they want to try to save him. Maybe they want to try to heal him. And the hospital in the UK will not, because that will prove them wrong. It opens them up for liability and lawsuits. Everything is much easier on them if this baby just dies and they can just wash their hands of it. But we're not going to let them do that. We are not going to let them do that. They will never wash off the blood off their hands from this and from Charlie Gard and all of those other children that have been killed by hospitals. But this one in particular, because that's who we're trying to save right now. And we're sending him our prayers and we're sending him our healing right now. They will never, ever be able to wash the blood off their hands after this case. Please share. Please share. Please send your prayers. Please send energy. Please, please. Envision. Visions can help. Envision him playing on the playground one day. Envision him, playing with his parents, being at home with his parents, making pancakes, eating breakfast. And have these visions. Meditate. Share this with your prayer groups. Share it with your meditation groups. Share this everywhere. We need to save him. We can, maybe our prayers will turn this around. Maybe our prayers and our thoughts, maybe we'll wake up Kate Middleton. And if you didn't see the beginning of this video, I call her out because I cannot imagine how any UK mother is sleeping right now, especially her. There's a baby dying on her watch. So while she's home with her new baby, there's another baby dying in the hospital that she needs to be taken care of right now. Maybe these prayers, maybe this energy will not only reach Alfie, but maybe it will reach someone else. If you share and you have no idea who it might reach, please tweet, share, Instagram, get on the media's Facebook pages, get on their websites. This is a medical murder happening right now before our eyes. Sorry, it's extremely late here. It's after 2 a.m. and I'm exhausted. But I can't sleep because there is a baby right now that needs our prayers and needs our help and does not deserve to die. There is he's alive. I saw that video. This is a medical murder, and that's my new hashtag, guys. Medical murder. Fuck it. I'm not only going down... I'm not only taking pharma down, I'm taking down this whole bullshit hospital system that is poisoning people. It needs to be about patients. We need to revert to where it was. We need to be saving people and not killing them. Again, I was working on another article before this came onto my radar today, where experts in the U.S. Have documented that medical errors are now the 3rd leading cause of death in the U.S. They are killing people. More people are dying from hospitals than are probably dying in them. Okay, well, if they're dying from it, they're dying in them. Okay, more people are probably dying from hospitals than actually dying from a disease or accidents or anything like that. Like, literally, it's one of the leading causes of death. And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing a medical murder take place in front of our own eyes. So really, real quick, I want to show this picture for those of you who haven't who are just coming on. This is Alfie. This is who we're praying for right now. The hospital took off the ventilator despite his desperate pleas from his parents and protesters and from even the Pope, who tweeted that we need to be standing behind Alfie and sending our prayers there. Kylie asks, how can a hospital do that? Because the hospital sued the parents. The hospital sued the parents. I mean, what the fuck? Okay, I'm sorry. UK lawmakers, right now, write this on your to-do list. You need to make a law that says hospitals cannot sue patients. Okay? Hospitals cannot sue patients. What the fuck is up with that? How is that even legal? Okay? Anyway, how can they do it? Because they got medical and physical and legal custody of this baby, Alfie. And they've been poisoning him for years and years and years. And years. And years. Okay, maybe not years and years and years. I got a little carried away. But a year and almost 6 months. And now they want to kill him. And they got legal permission through the courts to do that. Not only to take him off the ventilator against his parents' wishes, but they have denied also his parents' wishes to fly him to a hospital in Rome, and all the transport, every single thing is paid for, and the hospital will take care of his medical needs down in Rome, and they refuse. They refuse. They refuse. Why? Why will this hospital not let this child leave? So anyway, that's how they can do it, unfortunately, Kylie. It's medical murder taking place right in front of our eyes. And the update is that the hospital took him off the ventilator around 9 p.m. 9 p.m. London time. Right now it is 1:17 in the morning London time. And he's been fighting to breathe on his own. They are refusing him oxygen, even oxygen that's been brought out inside the hospital from other people. Not even the hospital's oxygen. And they're refusing. After poisoning this child for months and months and months, this baby's body needs to heal and needs to be given an opportunity. And as I shared earlier, I have lots of stories of people that have been in comas and they come out and they're declared brain dead and they come out and live normal lives. And my uncle was one of them. He was in a coma after a motorcycle accident for 6 months, and he managed to recover and lead a completely normal life and have kids. So please, please, please send your prayers for him. His name is Alfie. Envision him playing on the playground. Envision him with his parents, his father hugging him, because right now the police will not let his father near within 2 feet of the hospital bed. He's in his mother's lap right now. He's fighting to breathe. He's fighting to live. If this child dies, this is medical murder, and this hospital and every single employee in it has blood on their hands. And every lawmaker in the UK that has not stood up and put an end to this insanity, they all have blood on their hands. Kate Middleton, I'm sorry, Kate, but I'm not letting you off on this one. You just had a baby, I know, but you're out of the hospital. Why are you not in this hospital saving this baby? Because the UK children are dying on your watch. Like, I mean, how does that even happen? I mean, can you imagine? What is the name of the hospital? Someone, can you put that in there? Oh my God, because my brain is a little fried after this long video. But please send him all your prayers. So again, the hospital got medical custody. Tina, I love you. Who is Kate Middleton? That's my best friend, Tina. Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to school her on a little bit more than just than other things. Anyway, you're funny. Kate Middleton is the future Queen of England. This is Alfie, and this is who Kate Middleton really needs to be helping right now. The Sandy is posting lots of links of the hospital's name, the Facebook pages, the doctors that are involved. Blood on their hands right now. A baby is dying in their hospital, and they are not allowing oxygen. They are encouraging the death. They pulled the ventilator, even though he was awake today. His eyes were moving. He was sucking on a pacifier. These were not seizures. These were movements. These were normal baby movements. No, he wasn't talking. I mean, he's only 2 years old, and his body's been under trauma for years and under drugs for years. But he hadn't learned to talk yet. He's moving with his eyes. He's blinking. His eyes were following his father. Like, this is insane. They are killing this baby. This is medical murder. He was so awake today. Ellie says, she must have watched the video I shared. The royal family, where are you? All of the employees that need to step out of that hospital right now, every single one of those employees at the hospital right now, there is blood, not only on your hands, it's dripping all over your freaking bodies. You need to step up. You need to walk out of that hospital right now. Everyone that's not tending to a life-threatening emergency needs to walk out of that hospital right now, burst through the police line, let the oxygen in, let the media in, let everyone see what's happening. And say, no, enough is enough. I mean, this baby is dying because this hospital wants to make money. Either wants to make money or they don't want to lose money. It's all about money. Yes, they had an attorney. They had a very good attorney. They had a call with the judge tonight and the hospital administration to try and get the judge to appeal and change his decision. The Italian ambassador was on the phone, the family, the hospital administrators from Rome that said, we'll take the baby, we will take care of the transport, all of his care. And the hospital administrators said no, and the judge said no, turn off the ventilation at 9 p.m. That was what was done. And now Alfie is struggling to breathe. So please, please, please send your prayers to him right now. Send healing energy. Send your thoughts. This is a little baby that is alive, that is awake. Please, please, please do not let him die. Do anything you can. Anything you can. I don't know how people are sleeping tonight in the UK knowing that this baby is in a hospital. This baby that has life in him and that needs to heal. He's been killed by the medical system and is being killed by the medical system, and his health has been killed by the medical system already. He's been on drugs at the hospital for months and months and months, and now they won't even give him oxygen. This is medical murder. Hashtag that. That's my new hashtag, because this has got to stop. It's, when I was working in the pharmaceutical industry, I saw this. I saw the corruption. I saw them twist the information, manipulate the data, discredit doctors. I saw them, have things, push things onto the market and sell things just for profit, even though they knew it was killing people. In their own studies, it showed that. I saw the corruption. I saw the evil firsthand, and I left the industry. And you know what? I saw it in hospitals too. It wasn't as bad back then, but it is horrible now. Hospital systems are now bought out by investment firms, and it's all about the money. It's not about the people anymore. It's not about the patients. This is medical murder, and poor Alfie needs your prayers right now because he is fighting hard to breathe, fighting hard. And someone said, I'd storm the hospital. Hundreds and hundreds of protesters stormed the hospital today, and the hospital had riot police out. Riot police blocking the doors. How, like, this is the article, if my computer will work. Hundreds of supporters chant, "Save Alfie Evans," as they storm Alder Hey Children's Hospital after the latest appeal bid is rejected. And you know what? Earlier in this video, you guys should watch the full thing if you haven't. I know it's long. I talked about a similar case in California a few years ago. It was a teenager who the hospital went into the hospital. I believe she had her tonsils taken out at the hospital, if I remember right, or she was transferred right after she had her tonsils taken out, and she was one day healthy in the hospital, and then the next day there was some kind of medical error, and she was like on life support the next day, and the parents knew that it was the hospital's fault. And so they took them to court. Of course, the hospital wanted to do the same thing. Pull the plug as fast as possible. Pull the plug. Swipe this under the rug. Hand it over to their lawyers. Hand it over to their lawyers. You can't hear me. Maybe I was covering. Hand it over to the lawyers so they don't have to take responsibility and deflect the media attention. So it seems to be, the parents fought that it was Oakland Children's Hospital. It seems to be these children's hospitals. So I'm gonna go out there and, I'm gonna say, I think there's a lot of cover-ups and a lot of medical things happening at these children's hospitals that we're not being told about. Medical research, organ donation schemes, all kinds of things. Anyway, in the Oakland Children's Hospital, the parents fought and they won on appeal to take their daughter away from Oakland Children's Hospital and to put her in another hospital. And last I checked, and it's been a couple years since I updated, she was doing well and she was healing and she was out of her coma. This happens all the time if the child is given chance to heal, because children have very, very amazing capabilities of healing. All right, this is Alfie, who needs your prayers. He really needs your prayers, and I'm going to have to end this soon, this video, but please share it. Please, 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 please share this video. Please send your prayers. My voice is running out, so I'm going to have to end this soon. But please email, please tweet, email this video, but also the article that we wrote on Learn the Risk, because it has all the details there. This article we wrote, heartbreaking news, 20-month-old baby, actually he's 2 years old, I got that wrong. He was 20 months on some of the other stuff I was reading about him. He's being executed in the UK. He's being executed right now as we speak. It has all kinds of stuff on here. It has the videos. It has the petition. This article has all the details. My computer's not working. Never does when I do a Facebook video, even though I'm doing it on my phone. It has articles from the beginning of this, information from the parents. It even has, there's a link to some of the court documents. Where is it? Oh yeah, down here. Some of the court documents were leaked. And this is what was requested by the hospital for the court documents that eventually gave them custody. So anyway, we have great information on the Learn the Risk page on the article. So please go there. It's all in posts on my Facebook page. Please share the article. Please tweet this. Please, everybody you know in the UK, every famous person, the royal family, Theresa May, all lawmakers, all the hospital, media, please get this out there. California, I'm counting on you because I gotta rest. Please get this out there. Don't let him die in vain. Please send